with that body language, with that body attitude, with that super tightness, the voice print, the continence, facial structure, the extreme body tightness, neck, shoulders, upper back. He doesn't have the flexibility to move aesthetically. His face is contorted, distorted, however you want to put it, in one continuous frown. I can understand it. That's why it's important to not only see what the man says, listen to what he says and how he says it, but watch him do what he says, how he does what he says, his body language, the expression on his face, the rigidities. And one can understand that. He's got to figure a way to transmute, reframe, and compensate, sublimate for all of that. He's got to be in total conscious control of everything he says and does in that environment. He's got to know how to listen to himself, to listen to his behaviors, to do the behaviors and also listen to them. The key is how you listen to yourself, how you observe yourself, how you feel yourself, intuit yourself, using your space in a social situation of extremity, of challenge, of incredible resistance and pushback. And everything for a man is tight and short, dumpy, with a big moon face, Humpty Dumpty head, is a social resistance pushing back on me, a challenge, every single moment. I have to be in control of myself, be aware of what's going on under my own self-supports and self-sufficiency, know how to listen to myself very ruthlessly, objectively, and have good anticipative, projective, emotional, anticipative capabilities. Put my mind in the mind of my opponent out there, the other social actor in the arena, in the sociology of the absurd, as they give off in height of thrown their beingness, which is just like what it sounds, is like you being. The Dasein is human reality, is picked up bodily and tossed into a place, a da, homeless, abandoned to your own care, and you have to forge your own template. You have to survive on your own resources. And even if that doesn't mean an entitlement, that doesn't mean you have to get anything. Don't focus on an outcome. Outcomes don't mean anything. Just pay attention to the details of the now. And if worse comes to worse, we've learned about ourselves. We've corrected some of our delusions and fantasies. We've gotten some experience that we can put into better mock-ups, better practice. We run right into and want the hell of the resistance and want more and more of it. And we call that Shangri-La. That's a toughness of the mind. That's the forging of a powerful will that's mostly to de-embarrass, desensitize. In that state of being, there is no failure. Don't need a consolation. Don't need a pep talk. Keep good records. Know where you stand. You go from goal to goal. I'm going to take a little sip of my coffee right here. It's good. It's good in the morning time. Good cup of coffee in the morning time for a good New Yorker like me. He's got to step out. He's got to walk out in the streets of broken dreams and face the hawk in the dead of night. Tell it to the hawk on the park bench. There's no running place. There's no hiding place from the hawk. There's no way to get warm. The hawk keeps changing directions of the wind force and the wind chill factor. Just as you think you're getting warm on the bench, the hawk just changed direction and hit you from another side. And in an hour or two of that, the wind chill gets into the bones, and then that's pain, buddy. It's heaven to look forward to a good cup of some good Starbucks coffee in the morning time. Good hot Starbucks coffee in the morning time. Don't be jealous. Don't be possessive. You have to learn out of force of necessity to share. Same thing with a woman. Don't crowd her, you'll lose her. Any excuse she needs to get away from a man like me, you let her have that excuse. Don't fight an excuse. No means no. That's all. I like the Elaine library method. This is where you're seen, but you don't see. You put yourself in a position where that potential woman can see you, particularly if she's with a friend, but you don't approach her. And you give her every opportunity. You pretend you watch her from the corner of your eye. Either she'll come up to you or she'll walk away very quickly. You'll know where you stand. You take that woman, you have the cojones to take that woman into the toughest environment possible and test her out. And you have to have the will to accept the results objectively, without denial, without delusions of grandeur, without motifs of revenge. That has nothing to do with anything. Remember one word, you got to know what that word means practically. Prerogative. Prerogative. Give her every opportunity to get away from you. Any excuse she comes up with, it's good enough for me. I got to know what I look like visually. That's the first thing. And not only what you look like visually, but the experience of the effect of what I look like visually with my extremely tight neck, extremely tight shoulders, big belly. I'm only 5'3.5", called very short, severely short. And to be short means to be small, so that you're caricatured, mocked, put in pillory wherever you go. And you have to deal with the evidence of that fact. Take it back and put it in your mock-ups, your simulations, and develop good, powerful coping tools. But the main thing here is don't run and hide from it. That's the main point. Don't run and hide from it. And you're forging courage. You're forging true grit, intestinal fortitude. You'll need it, my friend. What have I got to show?